Clark, my arm. Now look on your arm. Marks, my pinky. I can't with T-Rex. Well, I can look on your arm. Marshall Apollo, T-Rex, my pinky. Orange Lemon. Lekasu. Hip-hop, Lee. Shapopo. Shambisi. Oh, it was fire.
Right, Andrew. There's 2 more games this weekend, internationals. Six Nations is back with us. So on the Saturday, we have Ireland v Wales, followed by the Calcutta Cup, the oldest international rugby game in the world, Scotland v England. And France, they back-to-back rest weeks this week, so they get a bye on Sunday. They get to put their feet up. So Ireland, Wales, can you see anything other than a complete routing? Right, moving on.
But I don't think, you know, that the Welsh hang in there. Do you know what I mean? It's quite unusual that people get a 15-20 point beat down over Wales. I know we did before the World Cup. I think there was potentially 1 or 2 others, but generally the Welsh hang in there. The Irish also depends on who they pick. They might be blooding players, might look to do something different. I haven't seen the team. If they pick their normal team, they could be in for a battering.
I know we spoke last week about Ireland, how well disciplined they are, and they have a drive and motivation about them that they just put teams away, a bit like New Zealand do. They don't, you know, there don't seem to be a drop off. And just talking about the discipline, their last 12 games, 1 yellow card. That's just insane when you look at the numbers around Wales, who are quite disciplined, and they're like 5 or 6 in 2 games. England 6 in 2 games. Scotland the same. France, and in the last 26 games, 4 yellows. How do you beat a team like that? Are they the new Richie McCaw?
Yeah, well, look, they're sharpening up on everything. The Irish always been a good rugby side. There's no doubt. They looking great in the backs, but they looking world class in all the forwards. And that's kind of the difference. Was the one step or the difference they needed to make. They do have a golden generation of Irish, like top class forwards with depth. The loose forwards, they've got 5 or 6 that they could play as first choice. That there's no drop off when you bring the second one in. In fact, Van der Fleer came off the bench on the weekend. I mean, exactly. That's you know, they're playing some of them out of position now, which is interesting. I think Rossi has had an influence on how these guys get, how some of the coaches try and see what these players could do in other positions or blood them in other positions to see how they could cover. If instead of bringing, okay, you know, we've got a 6 and we bring the next 6 in, hold on, we've actually got a better 7. Can we play him at 6? If you know what I mean? So they're looking at it quite differently. But I still think Wales will get a smack.
I can see this being 20 to 30 points.
Probably.
Okay. One thing going for Wales, they've got their old coach back from the wilderness of Canada, and he's cleaned up his betting antics. Rob Howley is back in the fold as assistant coach. Just on Rob Howley, being a scrum half, I've always looked out for scrum halves. He was a wonderful scrum half in the 90s and early 2000s. Really fast, elusive, great pass, great kick, just genuinely world class.
Yeah, Wales do produce them.
Okay, well, going up to Scotland, the game after the Calcutta Cup. Can England win? Given you're going to Scotland, they haven't beaten Scotland for a while. The Scottish, like most countries, are super pumped up to play England. Always seem to get off to a good start, Scotland, in any international. But you get the feeling maybe they can keep it going a bit longer against a team they do not like. But so that's why I'm saying, can England win?
Well, they can. There's no doubt.
You think?
They could put, yes, they could put Scotland away. I don't think they will. I think England being in transition of strategy, especially around the way they do that very, like, quick defensive line movement towards the team attacking. I think it's the perfect scenario for Finn Russell. I think Finn Russell got around us a few times in the World Cup, was there, they had a strategy. Our scrambling defense was very good. England, because they're not as good at it as us, I think he could unpick them. So I think that could be the difference. England forwards, they're not firing. They haven't found their mojo yet, have they? England and Scotland need to beat them. Scotland need to beat them because they beat Wales and then they had a loss. But they can end second in this if they played well and potentially win. Well, maybe not second, but they want it. That should be their aim.
Yeah, I quite agree. And the makes me feel like laughing almost because the tables have completely turned. I think England can win if it's normal Scottish weather, wet, windy, and very cold. Similar to Paris semi-final, where England's constrictive game and George Ford kicking. Yeah, they could, and with Freddie Stewart, and I've seen they've brought back in the is it Martin, the lock, who had a great game against the Springboks, but he's not been playing, but they've brought him back in. So that's the only way I can see England actually coming out on top of this game. And even then, I think it's a bit of a lottery.
Yeah.
But
interestingly, Courtney Laws was saying he sees George Martin as a flanker. He said he could move him into flank. And, if you've got Itoje and Chesham, Itoje and potentially, who's the Sale lock who got injured? Enjoys pulling Australians' hair.
Yeah, with a mullet.
Yeah.
Hill.
Yeah. Hill, yes. And, you've got some good players there. George Ford, the fly half's a problem for me. George Ford, they have to protect him so much. It's difficult to protect him. They will go at him. And I don't think he's world class, but he's a small guy. And you know what? You can protect a small guy if you have a big pack, if you're a dominant team. If the other team go at him, you say, right, we're going to fuck you up now. You don't do that.
They used to be really good at protecting him because don't forget, 2019 England got to the World Cup final with George Ford pulling the strings at 10. It was Farrell at 12, and he was very, very protected in that team. Yeah. Billy Vunipola, looking after him. Tuilagi used to come in and shepherd him. Tuilagi, whose name's popped up again. Apparently, he'll be in the starting squad for the weekend.
Yeah, I don't understand the selection of Tuilagi. Unfortunately, his fitness, his body, struggles with the demands of international rugby and normal rugby. So you can't get any rhythm playing him, because he's just not available. Like he plays like every second or third game. So, I would be looking at Slade. I just think he's the guy in form. It'd be interesting to see what Borthwick goes with. And it might, like you say, be very weather dependent. They brought George Ford in, not George Ford, George Martin. They might be expecting rain. So, we can't see what's a Tuesday. We're not going to really see rain on at the moment on the weather reports, but it could be.
Okay, so we're both going for Scotland win, I presume.
Yep, Scotland win. Scotland win by 7.
Yeah, I'll go 8. 8, just over a score. Yeah, 8 or 9. Let's go 9.
Okay, yes, let's go.
Scotland by 9. And as we said, France get another rest week on the Sunday. So apparently it's on TV, their rest week, but I won't be watching them rest. So.